Now at 5, Joplin's new Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex opens after 18 months of construction. Plus, another name is added to Joplin's Veterans Memorial and
votes in key races still being counted days after election night. I'm Natalie Brand, watching the contest that could determine the balance of power on Capitol Hill.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
After a year and a half of construction, people are getting a first-hand look at Joplin's new arts and entertainment venue. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. An opening reception is just now getting underway at the new Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. This is a live look at this invitation-only event from members, sponsors, and honored guests. More than 300 donors have contributed to the project. It opens to the general public for self-guided tours tomorrow. We got an advanced tour of the 37,000 square foot facility. It includes state-of-the-art galleries and a 450-seat hall to spoken word, cinema, musical, comedy, and even local opera uses. Emily Frankowski, the executive director of Connect to Culture, says this complex can attract national artists to perform. This is also a possibility for younger generations to experience high levels of live performances.
So we're partnering with Joplin schools to bus in different classes to get a preview of that evening's performance. It will be a free show. We have the Ignite series, which is for kids and their families. So we have children's theater and children's music. So we're looking forward to providing more opportunities like that.
Complex opens at noon tomorrow with a ballet performance. Ribbon cutting is going to happen at 12:20. Let's check in with Doug for a first look at the weather.
Well, it's definitely turned out to be a chilly one today. Super cold compared to what we have seen over the past couple days. Just cold in general, upper 30s, lower 40s in our southern counties. Plus, it's windy, so it makes it feel even colder than what it actually is. Look at this. We got these northerly winds kicking in at about 10 to 20, and gusts have been a little bit higher than that. We got quite a bit of sunshine, clouds rolling back in, and look at these little tiny showers that are popping up northeastern Oklahoma. Look at this switching over to snow on the west side of Oklahoma City. Now, most of this is going to pass to our south, but our southern counties will get a few showers mixed in with a few snow showers as we go through the evening into the overnight hours tonight. I think most of this will be gone by about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Of course, high school football for us tonight, we're going to call it personal foul weather because it's cold. Temperature sitting into the 30s. We'll look at our next system as well here in just a bit.
See you then. People all across the 4 states and our nation are honoring the heroes who served our country this Veterans Day. A Joplin veteran is now getting the recognition he deserves. In 1966, Lawrence McCray was killed in action while serving in Vietnam, just a year after graduating from Joplin High School. Now, more than 50 years later, it was discovered that his name was not listed on Joplin's Vietnam Memorial with other local veterans. On Wednesday, that name was finally added, and then today, McCray's former classmates held a rededication ceremony at the memorial to honor his sacrifice.
It means everything. I was, of course, born right about the time he was graduating high school and going off to serve his country in the U.S. Army. So I didn't know him personally, but I heard about him through the years growing up, and to see this day come true and know that the service that he made to our country is being honored in such a way means everything to me and my family.
You can view McCray's dedication along with other local veterans at Joplin's Memorial Hall at 212 West 8th Street. Also in Joplin, Stapleton Elementary today hosted a Veterans Day Assembly. Students and staff prepared special music and recognitions for local veterans who attended and included patriotic songs, poems, and handmade cards given to the veterans.
Our students to understand how important Veterans Day is, what it means, and what the people that have given so much to our country means to them and what it allows them to have.
After the assembly, veterans were able to speak with students about their service. In Parsons, Kansas, people gathered for this parade. Members of the parade included elementary school kids waving flags, the high school bands from Oswego, Labette, and Parsons, and of course, most importantly, local veterans. They were on decorated floats. CBS News projects the U.S. House of Representatives is leaning toward Republican control, while control of the Senate, that's still a toss-up. Ballot counting continues in Arizona and Nevada, and in Georgia, Senate candidates are readying themselves for a runoff in December. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
The campaigning hasn't stopped in Georgia, where incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker are now sprinting to a December 6th runoff.
They said we're in overtime. We're in overtime.
I did warn y'all that we might be spending Thanksgiving together.
It's a seat that could determine which party controls the U.S. Senate, depending on what happens with the two other outstanding Senate races. In Nevada, the race between incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto and Republican challenger Adam Laxalt has tightened as more votes get counted. Under Nevada law, counties can receive ballots postmarked by Election Day through Saturday.
Right now, based on what we saw in the vault this morning, we've got a little over 50,000 ballots that still need to be counted.
In Arizona, elections officials in Maricopa County are still working through a record number of early ballots dropped off on Election Day. The race between incumbent Senator Mark Kelly and Republican Blake Masters is still leaning Democratic. The U.S. House is leaning Republican.
Both chambers are poised to once again have very slim majorities. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy has already begun a campaign for Speaker.
So we'll see how much Kevin McCarthy, how much arm twisting or how many favors he has to do to get over the top to get his speakership.
The midterm elections have highlighted divisions within the Republican Party.
Many of Donald Trump's candidates lost, and a lot of people in the Republican Party are probably going to say, maybe he shouldn't be the head of our party if he's choosing candidates like this.
But the former president, hinting at 2024, has already sent out a formal notice for a big announcement next Tuesday. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Arizona and Nevada also have very tight races for governor. CBS News projects both are too close to call. Still ahead, protecting the health of our military members.
This Veterans Day, concern over the surge in lung disease from frontline exposures. I'm Naomi Ruckham with One Veteran's struggles and the new laws aimed to help our nation's heroes.
Plus, an update on RSV deaths worldwide. That's next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, a new study estimates the respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is responsible for 1 in 50 deaths of children under age 50 globally. RSV is a common virus that's currently surging in the U.S. The study published in the journal Lancet Respiratory Medicine was the first research to examine the number of children with no pre-existing conditions that were hospitalized with RSV. The virus is especially dangerous for premature and medically fragile babies. It's still early in flu season, but about half of the U.S. is reporting high or very high respiratory illness activity. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says influenza is contributing a significant proportion of those illnesses. The number of people sick with the flu nearly doubled in the last week of October, then jumped again in the first week of November. Americans are being advised to get a COVID-19 booster shot before Thanksgiving. Health officials say they're concerned about a potential surge of respiratory illnesses during the end of the year holiday season and stress the best way to be protected is to be up to date with those vaccinations. Some veterans and active military members suffer from lung disease from exposures to burn pits and dust during their service. Naomi Ruckham has one veteran's story.
Air Force veteran John Sepulveda suffers with debilitating health problems related to his deployment in Afghanistan more than 10 years ago.
I get flu-like symptoms every month. I have lots of body pain. I cough blood, headaches now from all the coughing. The scary part is I'm in my 40s and this happened to me in my 30s. What's going to happen down the road?
Military service members can experience lung disease after harmful exposures from burn pits, desert dust, and IED blasts.
What it appears is that the problem does not go away. In some of our patients who are veterans with respiratory diseases from deployment, they may actually get worse.
Dr. Cecile Rose is with National Jewish Health in Denver, which created the Center for Deployment-Related Lung Disease to better understand and diagnose these injuries and develop treatments.
Asthma is one of the diagnoses where we have something to offer. For the small airways disease or bronchiolitis, we are starting to look at some of the treatment possibilities as we understand the inflammation that causes this scarring.
The PACT Act is a new law that expands health care and benefits for veterans and adds to the list of health conditions that exposures can cause.
The fact that these diseases are being recognized and the conditions are being accounted for is huge for anyone involved because it's a very frustrating process.
Sepulveda is on several medications to help manage his issues, including corticosteroids, migraine drugs, and pain relievers.
I've gone through days where I say, I just don't want to do this anymore. And I have a very good support system, and I'm not sure everyone has that.
He wants other veterans to know there is help out there. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Several hundred veterans with a range of respiratory conditions have been seen at the Center for Deployment-Related Lung Disease since it opened in 2018. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, a sometimes forgotten group.
The spouses of our military families often have a tough time in the job market. I'm Usher Qureshi with why this group is often underemployed and makes less money.
Plus, the chilly temperatures stick around. Also, some rain and snow chances. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a cold day for us today after almost 80 degrees for a high yesterday and only about 40 during the afternoon. So almost 40 degrees cooler this afternoon. Had quite a bit of sunshine. Clouds have increased over the past several hours, which you can see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort live tower cam just outside of Seneca, Missouri. And we are going to have the clouds as we stick through the evening hours. Most of us dry, except our far southern counties. Let me show you what's going on. Look at these temps. 34 in Lamar, 36 in Anderson, 36 in Chautauqua, Grand Lake at 37. Iola is at 34 degrees. Tower cam went down. It's been kind of windy. Northerly winds at about 10 to 15 to 20 miles per hour throughout the day. So what that has done has made it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is. Of course, we have some playoff high school football tonight. We're going to call this personal foul weather because it's cold and it's windy. A lot of clouds sitting into the 30s during the evening games for us tonight. Looking at the radar, you can see some showers, even some snow showers popping up. Most of this is not reaching the ground, but we could see a few flurries, could see a few sprinkles. And then as the atmosphere kind of saturates a little bit, especially along and south of I-44, could be a few bursts of snow showers in our far southern counties. Most of this is not going to be a big deal. It's just kind of odd to see. We haven't seen snow popping up on the radar in quite some time, but this extends back into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Some of this is reaching the ground where you see the darker blues just to the north of Oklahoma City. Now, most of this is going to spread to our south, and that's where most of the rain and snow showers will be confined as we go through the evening hours. This is the upper level low of the storm system that gave us all the heavy amounts of rain that we had last night. Let's go through time. 7:30. Look at the snow. So southern McDonald County, southern Berry, down through Benton County. Those areas could pick up maybe a dusting, maybe a little bit more. Everybody else just socked in with the clouds, and then we break out clear skies late tonight. Temperatures take a dip down into lower 20s. As we go into Saturday afternoon, I think we'll have quite a bit of sunshine, but temperatures very similar to what we saw today. Chilly, not as windy, which is good. Tomorrow night, back down near 20 for an overnight low. As we go into Sunday, a little bit warmer, upper 40s to near 50 degrees by Sunday afternoon. Here's your day planner tomorrow. 24, 37 at noon, 38 by 5, high temp of 42 degrees. Here's where it gets a little interesting. Let's go into Monday. So Monday morning, fine. Rain and snow increasing. This is Monday afternoon. It looks like we're going to be cold enough that this could switch over to snow Monday night into Tuesday morning, and there could be some accumulations from this. So this is something we want to keep our eyes on as we go through the next couple days. 42 for us tomorrow, 50 on Sunday. Rain showers increasing late Monday and possibly going over to snow Monday night into Tuesday morning. We hold into the 40s, could get a little rain, snow mixed again next Friday. So we were near 80 all week, and now we're talking about rain and snow, which is kind of crazy.
That's four-state weather.
That is four-state weather.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, the latest inflation news. First, though, we honor a local veteran on this Veterans Day, as we do every day. Joplin native Floyd Ellison served in the U.S. Air Force National Guard, also in the 1960s with a military police unit. We're proud to salute Airman Second Class Floyd Ellison, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the latest consumer price index shows the U.S. inflation rate is up 7.7% compared to 1 year ago. Year over year, that's the smallest increase since January. A separate report released by Adobe Analytics showed that online prices fell in October for clothing, electronics, toys, and sporting goods, but continued to rise for groceries and other essentials. Today, we honor our veterans, but one group that's often overlooked is military spouses. Usher Qureshi found out many struggle finding a job and keeping it.
Alexis Kimotho has moved 5 times in the past 15 years because her husband is in the U.S. Navy. Like most members of the military, the family has to relocate on a regular basis. And for the mother of 2, every new city has meant the challenge of finding a new job.
The employer told me that I was not someone that they would want to invest in because I wouldn't be around long enough.
It's a common problem. A survey conducted last year found the top concern for active duty military families is spouse employment, more than time away from family or children's education.
Military spouse unemployment has on average been 3 to 4 times higher compared to their civilian counterparts.
Rosalinda Vasquez Mori is with the Syracuse University Veterans Institute that conducted the research. She says even those who find work have a disadvantage.
How does pay among military spouses compare to the general population?
So we've looked at this a number of different ways, and on average, military spouses make about 37 to 38% less.
Recently, there's been some relief with the shift in where people work.
Has the rise in remote work been a game changer for military spouses?
Absolutely.
For the last 2 years, Kimotho has been working from home with Instant Teams, which connects military spouses with businesses in need of remote workers. Erica McManus and a fellow military spouse started the company.
It is the mission. It is that we know every single person that we hire, we are putting additional financial security into military family homes.
This is the first time in my entire journey with my husband that I feel confident that work will continue.
Kimotho says her family may be moved again this summer, but at least this time, the job will stay the same. Usher Qureshi, CBS News, Chicago.
President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan was dealt a blow when a federal judge in Texas blocked it as unlawful. The Department of Justice says it'll appeal the decision. The measure was already on hold after the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals issued a temporary stay last month. The White House says more than half of the 26 million applications received so far have been approved for relief of up to $20,000. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, honoring our heroes with an on-the-road story about paying it forward for patriots. Then on KOAM News at 6, more on the opening of Joplin's new Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex and what it's going to bring to the community. Plus, the Missouri School District is changing its security measures and will now allow trained teachers to carry a weapon on campus. And Jacob Leonard's going to preview a busy night of high school football in the area. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. And if you're heading out to your local high school football stadium to support your team, you're going to want to bundle up tonight.
Yeah, we're going to be into the 30s, plus it's windy, so that means wind chill factor sitting into the 20s. Don't be surprised, especially Joplin South, if we get a few flurries spitting out there, maybe even a quick little snow shower. Down to the lower 20s tonight, 42 tomorrow, 50 on Sunday. Watching a system that we're tracking late Monday into Tuesday, possibly rain over to snow. We're going to have more on that tonight at 6.
Something for everyone, I guess, in that forecast.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We're going to leave you tonight with another live look at that invitation-only reception underway at the newly opening Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex in Joplin. See you at 6. Let's make it a great evening.